Hey guys, this is Jess Cleary here. So you're prepping for your phone screen or interview with the hiring manager and you aren't sure what kind of questions they might ask you? Don't worry, I'm here to give you 5 common questions they might ask you so you can better prepare on how to ace this interview. Usually an interview first starts with the interviewer asking you about yourself. Similar to the objective I went over in your perfect resume video, this is where you need to share your experience and how it might align with the job at hand. This should be brief but meaningful. You're trying to frame yourself as the perfect candidate for the position while also exposing some of your achievements and skill sets. So really elaborate on your experiences. You can even kill 2 birds with 1 stone here and highlight some of the skills you gained during those transitions in employment while sharing the reasons you moved from one place to the other with career advancement in mind. Another question they might ask you is your education. Depending on the position, this can be a common question. Those of you who have minimal work experience can use this as a time to relate courses and projects that helped you develop similar skill sets required for the job so that they can directly connect with the school and your educational background. Another common question an interviewer might ask you is to disclose your strengths and weaknesses. This is some of the trickiest make or break questions of the interview. So I want to provide you with some keywords in the summary below to help you prepare for this. I have to be honest here, it's seriously situational based. So I want to provide a couple of examples and also how to maybe even use your strength and your weakness as one. When interviewing at my current employer, I actually used over-organized as my weakness and my strength, like it was a double-edged sword. My weakness, they asked, I thrive in an ordinary and efficient structure. Given I had been through 6 large acquisitions in my past, I saw that you must be nimble to change, right? As a recruiter, an applicant tracking system helped me stay organized from cradle to grave. But when I got a new tracking system, I felt so discombobulated for weeks. Ironically enough, my organizational skills are also my biggest strength. I'm great with time management, prioritization, and typically tracking everything with my day planner, Outlook calendar, Microsoft OneNote, and some might say my to-do list. Every day I wake up, I write down 3 professional goals, 3 personal goals to achieve that day to be able to hold myself accountable. When I gave this example, I not only shared my resources, but it also allowed me to share the softwares I use while also showcasing my old school ways of my to-do list, how to hold myself accountable to higher standards. I need you all to take some time to really think about your strength and weakness here and how to reveal it. Most of the time, you'll be asked to provide an example, so be prepared. When it comes to strengths, I hear communication, hard work, self-motivation, and honesty as the top answers. If this is you, come up with some examples right off the top to speak about. As far as weaknesses go, this is where you can use a situation you encountered, but make sure you have the learning piece behind it. Are you confused a little bit? Let me break it down. For a real life example, if we're gonna be transparent here, empathy and heart is my biggest weakness in corporate America. If anything, I care way too much about people, if that's such a thing, right? One example that comes to mind is a student I met as a senior in his academic career. He applied for an internship that would turn into a full-time position if all went well. I handpicked him. I was eager for him to be part of the team. When he interviewed with a partner, he got so nervous that he bombed it and was overlooked. When I called him to tell him he didn't get it, I took the next 2 weeks to send his resume off to other competitors. I knew I couldn't use him, but somebody else could. Shortly after that, he ended up landing a job at the Big Four and most recently came to me 6 years later to thank me for coaching him and how it impacted his success and how he wouldn't be where he was without me. Some might say I did too much. That might be my weakness, too much. I should have just let him fend for himself, right? No. My empathy is the exact reason I'm successful. I care about an applicant, the manager, the organization, and the community. Now, when I hear my weakness, you understand it. It's in perspective. It's an outlook. It's how you use it to describe the situation. Situation-based. A few examples I hear often with weaknesses are public speaking, delegating, being overwhelmed without communicating effectively, or too passionate about work. Now think about what your weakness is and how you can learn from it and how to sell it as your advantage. Believe it or not, we can all use our weaknesses as strengths. Take mine, for example. My second to last tip here is how to answer that awkward, why are you applying question? They look at your resume, they review your work history, they want to know why are you applying for this position? They might ask you why you're wanting to leave your current position, or what is it that you're looking for. And as much as you want to admit you're undervalued and underpaid, you must remain calm and professional. This isn't a time or place to complain about your current situation. This is a time to take the high road and let them know how excited you are for the opportunity to grow. And although you're happy at your current organization or position, you've already successfully achieved all of those goals and objectives set and are really looking for more of a challenge. See? Wasn't that so much better than oversharing why you hate your boss that micromanages you every day? All right, guys, my final tip is salary. All right, so your interview is going well, it's nearing an end. Now the question comes up about salary. Guys, I get it. 75% of my applicants are so reserved when it comes to compensation, and the other 25% literally give me a flashback of Jerry Maguire as an agent screaming, "Show me the money." The best advice I can give to you is to use this exact answer. Go grab a pen and paper. This is what I would say. I'm unsure what the range might be. Are you able to share to see if it comes close to what I'm making or what I'm looking for? Another good way is to refrain from giving a number until you can actually be able to negotiate based on your experience and level or skill set. They have given you a range, so once you get that range, don't oversell yourself or undersell yourself. This can sometimes be a knockout if we know we can't afford you, no matter how good you are. Budgets are budgets, and salary usually is already defined, unfortunately. I know interviewing can be overwhelming sometimes, but as long as you come prepared, you should do well. If you don't have an answer for the question at hand that they're asking you, take a deep breath. Ask if they could repeat the question, and give yourself some time to think about it. I've been in a similar situation where I didn't have the answer and wrote it down and later emailed them to get the answer. It showed that although I didn't know the specific acronym, I was eager to learn and get back to them. Just make sure to practice your pitch and your strengths and weaknesses. You need to review your resume, look at your work history, look at the skill sets you've learned along the way, and how your education has gotten you there. Last but not least is to look at salary.com or Glassdoor to see what compensation is at, so in case salary does come up. Please note, not all you read on the internet is true. So please don't come referencing salary found online in the interview and let them give you a range first. These top 5 tips will give you an advantage up as long as you prepare yourself. You got this. You're going to rock this interview. All right, guys, you see that subscribe button down below? Go ahead and hit follow if you feel I've added value today. I can't wait to help you land that dream job. Coming from MVP of recruiting, your girl Jess Cleary, biggest fan and cheerleader.